So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the building here today, right? If you tune in, you might get a little sneak peek on the YouTube live. We have a giant, a great, whose music has transcended over 4 decades, Father Yo. I want to start from the beginning. Before we get to that, I first saw him in 1996. Me and DJ Trav was in the concert, 14 years old, and he step on stage and he bust a laugh like this. Trav, play tune for me, please! The man just walk on stage and laugh and the whole dance mash up. Here, sing a tune, here, tell him.
Watch out. From the dark, she's coming to the light. Oh yeah, do you see what I say? Girl, your style is spark and the body and the shape a take light. Oh yes, do you see what I say? That one your name. So you just sing say, holy for curiosity on the corner.
You're listening to the grind.
Yo,
we gonna rinse tune to this.
Hey, let me introduce myself. Me ball,
This is MX Prime.
Video 2000 me ball, this is Magadan. Who no listen to me new band slang me ball, this is Magadan. Video 2001 me ball, Magadan. Who no listen to me slang when me ball. Brand new song called Obia Man, wicked new thing called Obia Man. Everybody yo.
And let me went down this kind of road here. I was in the fat pier, one cooler fat, it's sticky.
With the young, 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 with the pan, 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 with the young, 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 with the pan, lava. Let me go.
You're listening to the grind.
This is Maximus, a gladiator, hotter than a radiator, representing John Creator right about now. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling a story through music today. As they say.
You're listening to the grind.
Father, yo, how I song it? How I song it?
I am a natty dreader. 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 Girl, this is what Maximus has said. I say no break your neck, boy. When you see me dance and prance with a woman, I say no break your neck, boy. When you see me walk and talk with a woman, I say no break your neck, boy. When you see me dance and prance with a woman, I say no break your neck, boy. When you see me walk and talk with a woman,
You're listening to the grind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Building Shade, featuring Maximus a Gladiator.
One of my favorite.
Other than a radiator, representing Shasha.
Trinidad and Tobago, we feel that bass line when it come in.
Earthquake, building shake, feel the vibes with the music make it. Earthquake, building shake, music can make a dead man wake up. Earthquake, building shake, feel the vibes with the music make. Earthquake, building shake, music can make a dead man wake up.
I know when your birthday is, but it's like a celebration in here today. Let this one trap. Let this one run.
Yo, me and the youth will have the reggae. I'm not singing it night and day, but the people in the country don't want me to. They say we ain't no Jamaican. You in the land, a guy so hot pan. Sing the music of your nation. I'm telling you. They want to wine, they want to grind. Woman in front and man behind. If I'm not doing that, when I'm wasting time. So you tell them, when I decide to jump on the Soca train.
One of the greatest national pride songs ever written and ever made in Trinidad and Tobago history.
Put your flags up in the air right now.
It have a whole story behind this tune. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, I am a soca warrior. I say win or lose, I am a fighter. I'm a soca warrior. I come to shine my nationality brighter. I am a soca warrior. I say win or lose, I am a fighter. I'm a soca warrior. I come to shine my nationality brighter. We will attack, we will defend. We going to pressure them to the very end. On the opposition that we meet, hear me now. We go defeat them all defeat. We go strike with all we might. 90 minutes are red.
black and white. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And then after this, he kind of went into a sort of rebuilding and rebranding process. You know what I mean? He started work on the production side of things, right? A lot of people was asking, but what going on? What going on here? And then he was able to break through with this one, DJ Trapper, where you play that for me.
You're listening to the grind.
Under some different thing.
We come and dance and everything is get hectic. We come and dance and everything is hectic.
We come and dance and everything again. Hey. And then this happened.
Wait, hold on. Pull it up. So let where with you, let where with the tell them I'm feeling good, like a new machine, like morning dew, fresh on the scene, having a party to the full extreme. With gasoline, all of the city. Good fondo, we job excel. The building, good fondo.
Everybody sing for me, please.
We jobbing, just hold them and one day. Wait, hold on. Pull it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, you feel you could sing something for me today?
I live in a rock city. I live in a flat city. This is a mad city. Mad city. I live in a flat city. I live in a rock city. Call it a mad city. Mad city. Why are you in the pandemic? Take a drum debit. In the pandemic. Take a drum debit. In the pandemic. Take a drum debit. In the pandemic. Why move away the couch? Move away the couch. Run around the yard. Run around the yard. Walk up in the kitchen, show them what they're missing, huh? You know what your business in the road.
Do what?
Stay home. You know what your business in the road. Stay home.
Ladies and gentlemen, my brethren, as I say, the one, the only, Mr. MX Prime is here today with us. Brethren,
blessed day, my brother.
you like what I do there?
Yeah, man. I love the storytelling, and no time like the present. You know, sometimes it's good for us to know what we did back then, so we could see the growth. We could also notice the things that we didn't do that was so good, learn from it. As long as we have life, health and strength, and a positive mindset and attitude to grow, because we all are work in progress. Every day we work to progress. The person that you were yesterday is not the person you are today,
but you take the lessons from yesterday into today with the hope that tomorrow better things will come.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, MX Prime, one of a kind, right here today. I know he's a man doesn't like to dwell too much in the past. He's always pushing forward
True that.
But I wanted to do it for the listener.
Thank you very much.
For the viewer who locked on here today, because as a youth coming up in this thing, you were one of the few at the time that was incorporating dancehall and reggae, and then started to turn it into the what we call raga soca and them thing, and really brought the youths into soca music now. My generation, our generation, into it.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to highlight that.
Give thanks.
Because we used to be up in the nuts and thing, and it's, do you see what I... And Max is in the corner now. Chilling there with people. You sing that tune? Yeah, dog, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so today we are here to talk about your brand new album,
yes, sir.
XIT,
yes.
and other things, because this is the grind. This is not them interview where you come and you tell me, all right, who produced it, who think it, and buy. Right?
Yeah. We know about them things.
We know about them things, right? So hence why I don't like to do them things.
Right.
But so I kind of want to go into before now, in terms of how you really got exposed into music and how you recognized your talent at a young age. You know what I mean?
Well, I grew up in the 80s, and it was one of the best eras for music, in my humble opinion. It was the era for breakdancing and whole heap of talent. On every block you could have seen somebody chanting, dancing, singing. Everybody was a footballer. Ladies used to play the netball, who are the buggy, skating down the road, things like that. Long before PlayStation, there was Atari. So when a person have an Atari, that was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, but that was still few and far between.
Yes.
Too, yeah.
So I grew up, in a time where record players was in everybody's house. So you would listen to the radio, but then on a Sunday, somebody will turn on the record player, and then all of a sudden it have a Sunday line. Food come out, family come out. We playing football with the NP bottle. We could kick down the bottle to score, right? So then I know small goal like that. You had to kick the bottle down to score. So that's a different type of technique. So I tell you about the time. I tell you about the time, right? And everybody used to just be together. It was a togetherness time. And the first record that I heard that I feel that I could have done music was The Show.
Oh yes.
With Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. When I heard The Show, I always knew that I would have done production because I was attracted by the sound of something and not only the singer. Many people would say, well, who sing that? I would say, who built the beat? Who's the person who built the beat? Who did the music? That was always it for me. So when I hear a record, I used to have this mindset where I separate the vocals from the music, right? And that would kind of make me understand why they did what they did, or ask the question of how they get this to sound this way, right? More than the artist did a great vocal performance. So from then on, it was a party time era where we would see the likes of the Super Child and the Just Chase and even this guy from Tobago, Oscar B, and these guys. All these guys passed through party time.
Right.
Some of the greats, some people who are involved in media today.
Still today,
sure. Right? We're involved in that era. So, I was like more or less, okay, we have a lot of entertainment. Casey Kasem, the American Top 10, right? You watch that, to see who charting. You watch a little video soul with Donnie Simpson. We're talking about fully being involved in music. Then I would go to Sunday school and you would sing your hymns because the parents wanted to keep that close relationship with God from quite early. And in Standard 1, my teacher, Miss Dukaran, said, you should go in the choir because I think you're going to be a star one day.
Serious?
And I was in Standard 1,
Serious?
So I don't know what she was saying.
Big up Miss Dukaran wherever she did.
Right?
Yeah.
She's still around looking young. Teachers have a kind of way we age and they just keep looking the same way.
For real.
All the time. And they say, what you doing, boy? You need to take care of yourself, right? Because you're looking who like me.
Big up Miss Dukaran.
Miss Dukaran, yeah. She looked at me. And that time, Miss Dukaran could have been about 21, 22, somewhere around there. And she just said to me, I think you should go in the school choir. And I went and I spent standard 1 straight to standard 5 in the school choir, you know, performing all kind of places, Queens or what have you, all kind of competitions.
And this is which school?
This is with school.
No, which school?
Petty Valley Boys RC School.
All right.
Right? And
as always had a big up schools anytime people come and talk about that experience. You know what I mean?
Schools are important, and the names of school, you know, so anybody who's listening, you know, could feel inspired to know that they went to that school.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then on, when I went to Diego Martin Junior Secondary School, that's when I realized that I fell deeply in love with reggae and dancehall music, because that would have been at the time of the Super Cat and the Shabba Ranks,
the early 90s.
All these artists, you know. But before that, I remember my sister carried me to Diego Martin Junior Secondary School Bazaar, and the song at that time was Babylon Boops by Love and Dare, right? Constable Brown, you know. So that was a big tune at the time, and that was a turning point for dancehall music to really play a lot on the radio, because before that you would have been listening to rockers and some, you know, one drop reggae and stuff like that. So when I started to listen to dancehall music and see these artists and see the Ninja Man and all these different acts, how they look, how they sound, you know, I said, well, this kind of fit my personality, you know, because people say, well, why not, you know, calypso or soca? We all dress to suit our personality. We speak a particular type of way because it's a part of our personality. We eat foods that is a part of something that, hey, we drawn to this or that. You know? That was just it. It wasn't no, well, I trying to be unpatriotic or anything like that. That was natural in me. Because remember, the first song I told you I was drawn to was a hip-hop song.
Right?
But that wasn't what I wanted to do. You know, as an artist, I could appreciate
it just appealed to the youthful spirit and vibe at the time and your personality at the time.
True that.
Which says a lot about the local dancehall and those artists doing local dancehall here today. We're seeing things repeating themselves. But go ahead. Right.
So I kind of more or less, you know, at the age of 12, I made up my mind that I was going to be an artist. But, you know, you can't really reveal those things to your parents because they want you to be anything other than an artist or something that doesn't have a sure pay in it, a sure salary, a steady income, right? Because our parents, they want the best for us, and they see the best as the traditional jobs, you know. Security, you know, and then being a boy, right? Especially with boys, more than ever, especially in these times. You know, we have to train up our boys to be a little bit more responsible, because if they want to have children and they want to have their own stuff, right? And it's a legacy thing, because a boy never loses his last name. He never gives up his last name. A lady will have to know when she gets married, she'll say, hey, I had a Lego man last name.
Well,
you know?
Most of them do.
Well, in business, in the professional life, people keep their names, you know. But for the most part of it, you know, your father's name. That's what they ask for when you have kids. So who's the father? I don't care if you don't like him. You had to write down that man name on the birth certificate. Right? So as a man, you know, as my dad, you know, working hard, and my mom taking care of me, nurturing me, trying to teach me how to respect women and, you know, be respectful and responsible.
So take me to that point then now. So in order to expose to the dancehall and whatever, then when you start, where and when did you really start to write it or perform it, per se?
I started to perform at the age of maybe 13 or 14, right, in Carnage, because I was born in Petty Valley, but at the age of 12 I moved to Carnage.
Right.
And that was a totally different experience, because, you know, Petty Valley was so peaceful, and, you know, everybody, you know, always have elements that doing what they're doing, but for the most part, everybody just cool. When you move to Carnage, you know, a different kind of vibe. Colorful place. Right? From the time you touch down, you realize, you're not in Kansas anymore. Right? Because they're the elements who doing what I'm doing, right? And they're afraid to show what they're doing. And then there are the elements that on sport, and then the elements who into entertainment, and then the elements who not even on any of the elements. Right? And you just have to find your space. And I remember the first time I went to the shop and some men look at me a particular way. Strange man, where you from? I say, well, I just move in. So men start to approach, and then one man say, oh, lead him on, man. You see the man go and spend money by my shop. Right? Only go run my customers. Right? And from then on, me and that brethren end up good, which is a brethren named Dope. So Dope, if you listen, love and respect all the time. Right? And I always used to line with the older folks. So when you line with people 15 to 20 years older than you learn a particular thing, or two. And I used to put that in all my music while I learned from the elders, just being around them. And they never used to allow you to come and be around them unless you show a certain level of respect. Other than that, youth man, go your way. So I used to do that religiously, just hang around people old enough to be my parents, or 15, 20 years ahead, just to, be around people with a mature head who could show me the ropes. That was a conscious effort to be around people a little bit older, not to play that you're a big man or anything like that. Because when I'm amongst my friends, I still the regular G. But when you're around those folks, it's about listening, because a good listener is a good learner. And that impacted my way of life and my songwriting. So at the age of 12, 13, when I now decided, hey, I want to be an artist. At 14, a guy by the name of Aldrin and Carnage invited me to an event that they had in Carnage. Now, when I say Carnage is separated by certain areas, people don't know that. Like the Point Commander, right? There is Lance Meter, and then there is Carnage, and then after that is Shagaramas. Right. So we were from the Lance Meter area, and he came up from Carnage to invite me to an event. Now, back in the day, Lance Meter and Carnage never really agreed too well. Right? So if you go Carnage and you play a football game and you're from Lance Meter and you win, you can leave with your boots on. Don't even try to take off your clothes or nothing like that. Just right? Just leave and just get out of it. You understand?
Right.
So that was the time. And he came up the road and said, yo, I heard about you. Through some sources, through his cousin, as a matter of fact, who heard me by the barber shop, and say, hey, Aldrin, I heard a little youth man from Lance Meter, his name is so-and-so, and he came up the road, and he said, youth, the first weekend you miss, I heard about you. I ain't coming back a second time. I just inviting you to an event, come show what you could do, you're safe, everything gonna be alright. And that's when I met Jungi, right, and Ziggy. And though at that time, it was the wickedest thing out in Carnage. Right? I mean to say, we had people up on our ends, rest in peace, baby ranks, but when I heard Ziggy and Jungi together, a powerful combination, it's like, wow. Baby used to say, them guys and them, they're wicked, but they ain't wicked like me. But they had a kind of vibe that in Carnage, when these guys and them start singing, it's like they had the whole crowd with them. So we used to be at a disadvantage because they ain't home turf.
Right.
But every Sunday religiously.
So it's a regular event?
During the August vacation.
All right.
Right. So for 7 weeks, because I missed the first week.
Right.
So for 7 weeks I went there.
So it's just like a yard setup, or just like
in a place called the Apollo at the time, right on Frisco Junction.
Right.
So when you come up Hague Street, right, past the field, it have an area that have like a junction, right, and the Apollo right there. So we said party there. Man holding mic, the videotape you, right, so you could see when people boo you. You can see when people make noise for everything. So there was just documented.
So they were just running version and thing, and artists just grabbing mic and going through.
Yeah. And I was just there for the experience. I wasn't there to try to be stand out. Right? I went there knowing fully well that I would have been learning is on the job training. And I saw myself as, you had to come out of your comfort zone. That's the only way change going to take place. Right? Change don't take place in the comfort zone. So when I went down there, I had to accept the terms that was going on down there. Sometimes you could have called for a version or instrumental and not get it. Because they said, I don't have it. But then the next man from down the road play, singing on it. Yeah. Right? Those are the type of things that would happen. So you respect where you are, you do the best you can, and you chalk it up to experience. But I never once said, I'm not going back. And at the end, some men say, you're good enough. But in order for you to be better, you gotta keep doing this live performances, and you had to not perform only at home.
Right.
You had to perform
Outer road.
Outer road. So go town, go sour, go this place, go that place, and that's how I met you on.
Wait, you know you since them time
I
then?
know you on since I was 17 years of age.
Serious? I know the relationship goes back that far.
Yeah.
Yeah? Serious?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. I met you on when I was 17 years of age. And it was through Crush International, who is
Tobago Crush.
not Tobago Crush.
No, that's
another Crush.
Another Crush.
Another Crush.
Okay.
Who so happens to be Cheeky brother.
Right.
Marbury Bros Cheeky.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, man, rest in peace, Cheeky. Right? He used to be the DJ for the Caribbean Sound Basin, Kiskidi Caravan, that Crush.
All right,
so the
all
first
right.
Crush used to be the DJ for Kiskidi Caravan. And he introduced me to you, man. I was down on the promenade, you know. Pops and they were setting up a system to play at an event on the normal stage where they had in front of where Shotgun Street side there, that stage right there, the main stage with B-Mobile is behind. And that's how I met you on.
Right.
And we got up to the second we speaking here.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know so. And this is before cell construction form.
Well,
Or it was in the process. Eh? Cell was wrong already? Well,
Yeah.
I know, but cell construction, the sound killing machine, that's different.
Well,
but that was the foundation of
yeah,
what cell
that was-
construction was.
yeah. Yeah, and that was it.
So take me now to, and then we're gonna play some music because we have a whole album I think to play.
True that.
Right, the album is called Exit. MX Prime is our guest here today. Right. So take me now to go onto that stage as we were talking about earlier, opening up for Fugees, one of the greatest performances in that. Anyway, one of the greatest performances ever in artists and a group coming down here. And what was great about it is there was a lot of local artists that opened that show.
Yeah.
Seth Gaines, I think Precious was with Seth as well.
Yep.
Couple other artists, and then of course yourself. You know what I mean? And as I say, how did you go now from community? I would say battling, but chanting in the community to now a big stage and then recording. Do you see what I see and these different sort of things?
Well, that happened. If somebody will have to tell me, because everything is like a blur.
Right.
At times, sometimes when you really focus on it, you remember all the things that happen. But I could remember being with Tower Promotion. I think that event was promoted by Tower.
Yeah.
So big up yourself, Mikey. Right. Robert Nurse had a big part to play in that too. And we got on the show. They said we opening for the Fugees. Who wouldn't take a bite of that cherry? Right? Concert capital, legendary venue.
It had no VIP and VVIP.
No,
It have general and backstage, and that's it.
And backstage, right? And it's the first time you really get good treatment performing as an artist. Enough respect to every promoter, but that was the first time you see everything was professionally laid out. This is your dressing room. These are the things, your snacks, your food, your water, your juice, whatever. And nobody ain't running you after you finish perform. Because them things used to happen from time to time too, unfortunately. And when I walk on top of that stage, I didn't see anybody, I just was into me. To the point that when I finish perform, I fling my hat and then Paul Richards say, hey, look your hat here. And he pick it up and hand it to me. Because I was in a zone by myself. Because I just wanted to do the best. I didn't enjoy what I was doing based on the fact that, I always see my mistakes. So I say, you should not say that. You should not sing like this. You should not sing like that. But then after I said, but wait now, you've just performed in
mash up the place.
in a legendary show with Super Cat and the Fugees and about 30,000 people here. No Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook Live. Everything is word of mouth. You're going to be remembered because people talk. Back in the day, people talk. That's a word of mouth. That's how you get big. Right? And that is what led me to start working with Question Mark Entertainment.
Right, big up Simon. And
Right, big up
team
Simon. I'll tell you, 2 days ago, Simon and I chat on WhatsApp. And, he, through Diamond Cut, honestly, big up to Diamond Cut.
Diamond Cut.
Diamond Cut met with Simon. And Simon wanted to manage Diamond. And Diamond say, I think you should listen to a couple people, artists that I know. And that's why I respect Diamond as a person. He say, I'm going to call a brethren who I met through Kiskidi Caravan. And a couple people from on my side, like Jungle and these other artists. And we all met Simon. And when he heard all of us, he said, wait now, but this look like a group. Right?
And that's when he put together the group.
Yeah, and the name of the group was Tribe. And we had some great times because every Saturday we used to come together and record, write, do some elocution classes. Used to bring in people to help us learn how to speak, how to answer questions and stuff like that.
Some of these artists, these younger artists need that too today, you know.
The first time I did...
Artist development is a lost kind of
you
thing.
You telling me the first time I went on 98.9 and got interviewed by O'Brien Haynes. O'Brien said to me after the interview, he said, listen, youth, I already interview too many, young artists on the basis that sometimes they're kind of confused when it is we in an interview and we ask them questions and it takes too long for them to answer. And you don't have a problem. I'll ask you a question and you will answer 3 questions. It's like you taking my questions and you controlling the interview. He says either you were well trained or that is a gift. I just say, let me tell you
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. So, large up Shirley McAlpin, Miss Shirley McAlpin, for sitting down with me and giving me the harsh reality of when you're dealing with people, look them in the eye, right? When you're answering questions, stick to what the question is. If you don't know something, say, I don't know. Or no comment is an answer. Right, and these different things that I learned along the...
So take us now, all right, so how you link up with the group, but then how did you go into recording these dancehall songs? Because that what's the name of that rhythm again?
Filthy.
The Filthy rhythm?
I did a show, and I think Red Rat and their producer, Danny Brownie, came to Trinidad. And we had a meeting with Danny Brownie, I think it was at the Asa Right Nature Center.
Of all places to have a meeting.
Yeah. And then they decided, okay, they're going to start with me based on the fact that I am the closest thing to dancehall in the group. Right. That, has the sound, even with Green and whatever, they could work on it. And we went to Jamaica. Simon and I went to Jamaica in 1997. I was 18 then. And it was a great experience. It was a learning experience. Met with a couple artists. At that time, that was the first time I heard the Showtime rhythm. I heard the Showtime rhythm before it even came out. Right. These guys came into Main Street Records and said, listen, this rhythm is going to change the world. And they just played the instrumental alone. And when I heard that instrumental, I say, that beat is going to be wrong.
Oh, you jump on the Showtime one time?
No, we had a run to jump on Showtime.
Right.
When I listen to all them tune and I listen to the Professor Nuts, the Shaggy, when I heard the Spragga Benz, I say,
yeah, that is it.
Game over. Right? I didn't even get chance to hear the Beanie and them yet. But when I listen to the entire rhythm, I say, wow. Then I was privy to hearing Buju Banton's Hills and Valleys before it came out too.
Right.
I heard all those records before it came out. Right? I recorded and I was supposed to go back. And I didn't want to go back based on the fact that I felt that my life was going to change too much.
Really?
Yeah. Right? Because we have all these things now to stay in contact with each other. Right? Going to Jamaica at 18-year-old, might be exciting for people now. But back then, when they didn't have much resources to really be in contact with people.
And you don't know nobody.
And you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Right? And they're asking you to stay in this place and somebody will come and pick you up and then drop you back, and it didn't seem like something that I wanted to do. So I didn't push to go back.
You got no cell phone and things.
None of them things, but back in the day, roaming charges through the roof.
Yeah, crazy.
But
it had cell phone, but the cell phone big like your hand, and you know what I'm saying?
And as
like a brick.
Yeah, so it was real difficult for me to say I'm gonna make that sort of transition right now. I wasn't too sure what my mom would say, her only boy child, them kind of things. Sometimes I process how people reaction wouldn't be, and then I say, I mean asking for that because I don't want to hear the things that I don't already know I couldn't hear.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, MX Prime is our guest. Our stick up in day. We're going to continue the story. We're telling the life story of MX Prime today, but which all leads up into this album is called Exit. So we had the whole album here. You tell me what tune you want to play for the people then.
I want to start with a song my brethren sent for me, send me a beat and say, yo, put this on your album. Name of the track, Vengeance.
Vengeance. Yes, sir. Let's get into it. MX Prime is our guest. The album is called XIT. And this one is called Vengeance. We have a whole album to play, so MX request that one. I requesting this one. This one is called Kilimanjaro off the album XIT.
Pass your joy onto someone else. Let your weakness become your strength.
You feel like give me this live, huh?
Cleanse your heart.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cleanse your heart.
that one your name.
When the lies come with them offense, let the truth be your one defense. Yeah, cleanse your heart. Yeah, cleanse your heart.
Do what now?
Stand tall like Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, get up like Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, even though the road is bleak, just wait for the mountain peak. Even though the hill looks steep, yo, stand tall like Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, even though the road is bleak, just on the mountain peak. Even though the hill looks steep, just climb to the mountain.
Hi, thanks for watching O.U.R Radio on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to get notified anytime we go live or post new content. OURradio.fm, your urban alternative.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was back-to-back MX Prime, our guest here today on the grind, right? On OURradio.fm.
What?
Playing TNT music. What it is, Navy? The frequency playing TNT music the most frequently. Yes, just to let you know, our mandate here is no less than 75% TNT content, and so we do it. This show, The Grind, is all about TNT, 100%.
Don't know my brother.
Yes, sir. So, let me get back into the story now. We're going fast track it a little bit, friends, right? So, Boom Shot now, you know, getting exposed to that sort of the industry on a big way, especially the Caribbean industry of music, dancehall, reggae, etc., etc. And then coming back to Trinidad, you say you wasn't too keen on you know, staying in Jamaica and working on it. But then you came back now and then you started to get into what we had called at the time the late 90s Raga Soca.
Yeah.
It was KMC, Bungie, yourself.
Well, stop right there. The KMC was the person who really brought the idea to my attention. He said, bro, why we don't just mix up the thing? You know, do a little bit of dancehall and soca, and you know, kind of more or less. Granty was already doing it,
Right, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
So it need more people like us. You know, yeah, man. Then nobody gonna be able to be bad like we. You know, okay, in this talk, right? He say they ain't gonna be able to catch we. And Galen now, you know, I used to meet Galen at these live shows, these reggae shows, because he used to open too, right? And when we met, I knew that Galen would have been the legend that he is today. He's just a phenomenal, unique talent, right? And we started to do our thing, and everybody was unified because we trying to break down barriers, you know, the young generation, and trying to create a space for ourselves. And people like Randy Glasgow had the Raga Soca, Monarch, and it had different platforms for us to express ourselves. That the school tour that 98.9 used to have,
yes,
you know,
sure.
where we used to
That
be all over the
school
place,
yeah.
you know, and everybody wanted to make the live broadcast because the whole nation would have been listening. So that whole, you know, taking a leap of faith, that was Ken Marlon Charles telling me, hey, let's do this. And we're still good friends. And he said, your vibe's just different. You know, my vibe's different. You know, this kind of difference will make a difference musically in Trinidad and Tobago. And then the rhythm culture was something that was
now coming in.
So he was producing beats, because when he did Bashment to Carnival, and went to New York, he met up with Mad Stuntman and these guys, and he was always a producer artist. You know, he was the first producer artist that I was really close with. You know, he always wanted to try different things. And a night we were at Caribbean Song Basin. He accidentally was looking for what you would call space on tape, you know, on the tape machine. And this beat come on, which was the voodoo.
Right.
And I said, yo, this thing sound like O.U.R, boy. Right? I said, you hear this, how this thing sounds? I said, this is a rhythm, boy, Ken. Yeah, you telling me? Yeah, you sure, boy? This go mash up here? Yeah, man, I'm telling you. And that is when we start to record rhythms in a big way. So I must say, even though I chose to stay in Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes I talk about it in a kind of way that I wish I did have the belly to pursue that, because who knows where I might have ended up. But at the same time, I didn't waste my talent.
No, I don't think, you didn't, of course, and I think your contribution to the art form and what it became was very important, you know what I mean? So, don't feel no way.
No. It's just that sometimes you say to yourself, boy, if I did only do this, you know, you never know what would have happened.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have those moments because you're human, all right? But we look forward because at the end of the day, we didn't stop. We expressed ourselves in a particular way, which, you know, made us accomplish some nice things.
Yeah.
You know, things that work with.
But explain to me
us.
too. But at the same point, was there a lot of fight back or backlash from traditional purists of soca and calypso?
There will always be that, you know. I think the purists, they are here for a particular reason, to keep us in line, so to speak. You know, to always vouch for the culture, you know, vouch for the preservation of the craft and the art form, because we could go into different areas with the music, but we must not forget where the music started, and the artists who are still practicing that form of music should be duly respected,
no doubt,
for their efforts to keep it as traditional as possible, right? Sometimes we as creative people will say these people don't want to take risks, but there's a reason why there is reggae music, traditional reggae, and then there is dancehall, and now there's modern dancehall, right, where, you know, you have the trap vibe of it, it have the what do you call it, the EDM dance side of it. There's so many offshoots to that, but at the same point in time, there is traditional.
Yeah, and speaking of traditional, but then now after that sort of raga phase, you yourself, as we played the music to start the thing, went into like more traditional song, although maintaining your voice, and Gallon and certain other people went into a more, I wouldn't say traditional, but maybe more traditional with Building Shake and Soca Train and that sort of thing. But at the same time with Soca Train, you was telling a story about exactly what you went through.
Well,
but funny enough, that to me was one of the songs that embraced you on a wider scale. Now it's like, this is authentic soca calypso music, with a twist.
When you go fishing, right, you never really know what fish you want to catch, but you go fishing anyway.
Right.
So with me, I always went fishing.
Belt a line.
Yeah, I always say, it's weird, they ain't gonna like it, but I gonna do it anyway. It's risky, but core audience will say, what you doing? But I gonna do it anyway, because I am here to create. We as creative people, that's all we can do. Put something out. If it works, hallelujah. If it doesn't, we go back to the drawing board, we make some tweaks and we come again. So with me, I went to London and I was hanging out with some mature folks, and somebody gave me a CD and said, I think you should do this song. All right, and the song, I wouldn't call it the name of the song they asked me to do, but me being DJ-esque, right, I schooled down the entire CD and I heard Soca Train, and I said, doing this.
Right.
And it took me a year to do that record because I was looking for the best producer
to recreate this song.
To recreate the sound, and I found Ibo, so big up
Shout
Ibo.
out to Ibo, yeah,
you know?
Most def.
And when it came out on the first day, it became a hit, right? And Uncle Gypsy, thank you for allowing me to recreate your song to the point that he could say, okay, when people forgot the record he put out, because you know we live in a time where things move so fast, people forget, right? People could now say, when they listen to Soca Train, the original, they could appreciate it for what it is, and what I came and I did with my version, to the point that, you know, people have a nice argument as to what is the better version, and I always say the original is the better version, because without the original I couldn't remake it.
No doubt.
Right?
But the remixes, if you want to call it, do have special meaning to different audiences, you know what I mean, different pieces, you know what I mean. And as you was rightfully saying, you know, as a lover of music, you might hear somebody say, you know, that's a gypsy song, and you might go back and listen to it, and it, you know, it just helps bridge that gap. You know?
and not bad too for royalties as well.
No doubt.
Bad too, you know, because
especially like, you know, like what Swappy was doing with O.U.R.
My gosh. You know, and so, you know, so that type of vein now that I went down in kind of introduced me to different audiences that old enough to be my parents and older, and I never lose that side of me. And one thing that, you know, people never really pay attention to is that I am an artist in the full spectrum of what an artist is. I'm not a genre specific artist. Even though you may hear more soca tracks from me, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a soca act.
No doubt.
Right? I am all things music in Trinidad and Tobago. If I hear something that gravitates, I gravitate towards it. I put my best foot forward. You and I did a song together, a hip hop track.
Hip-hop joint,
when people heard it, they said, "Wow, I didn't know Max could do that."
And then we would, when Father Yo and Madmen were doing first ever hip hop rhythms. You know, we were on one of them, or both of them. One of them, I believe.
Yeah, I was on one of them. Yeah.
And then of course I had a song here, but I didn't line it up in the story segment. But Love Generation and these sort of things. Showcase your versatility as a singer. Man could sing, you know.
Some days I sing better than some.
That is alright. We call out it because we had much stages to hit and thing, you know. But that's why I like when artists come on the grind, you know, get them back into our vibes and get them our energy to perform.
And I appreciate the platform, you know, for what you're doing.
No doubt. I want to go to now, so we go in and we go end off on this. Not end off, but we'll go into some more music. But so after Soca Train, Building Shake, 2006. Oh wait. This is. I need to clarify this here now, because in my experience, this is what happened with me, right? My brother had put out a song called Fighter, right? Nobody really take it on, you know. Until I believe it was a Carnival Tuesday or something, so that we had actually we was about to go into the finals or the something, so
let me sort it out for you.
Wait, hold on, let me just tell you my experience. And then boom shot, they released this song, and this song just become we second national anthem. So give me the story.
Well, let me sort it out for you. In 2004, I was called into a meeting before the hexagonal. Now it's the octagonal now, right? Where the 6 teams of CONCACAF would battle it out, and the first 3 teams would automatically qualify, and then for the very first time, the 4th team will go through a playoff, right? With a team in the Far East, right? I was asked to compose and write a song that would kind of more or less be a part of a campaign,
right?
And the song would be vetted by the then TTFF, right? And everything would have gone through them. I was just the person that was to sing the song and best suited to, because I used to wear my football jerseys, and they did the research, so I realized I think Geoffrey Lake was the person that recommended me to be a part of the meeting. So shout out to Geoffrey for making that call. I sat down in the meeting and they asked me, how much money you gonna cost for you to do this? I say, money? I say, in 1989 people burned their jerseys. I said, no money. I said, because I was walking up the road on a Sunday afternoon after the game, and when I reached home, my parents, everybody crying, and the whole community in sadness. I say, them things don't go away. I said, so if I have the opportunity to be a part of a campaign where we could redeem ourselves and win, I don't think I need to charge. The only thing you all will pay for is the production and all these different things. My personal fee, I waive it. They thought I was crazy, because I can't believe somebody say no money, just pay for whoever. And then we did the song. Samuel Jack and I did the song.
Samuel Jack.
Yeah, man. Big up to Jack.
Yes, sir.
And when we went into the meeting, for some reason, the song didn't resonate with them in the way that they felt.
Serious?
Yeah. Fighter.
So for those who don't know or need clarification, Soca Warrior, right? Right. AKA Fighter.
It was rejected.
Yeah.
It was rejected. And
Right.
by the then.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
Well, it was a group of people that would sit down and decide, from an advertising agency, what was the best approach. So the song didn't resonate with them at the time, and then on top of that, they had other contractual arrangements that they would go to as an option.
Right.
Which trumped what I was doing. So I came home with the song, and my wife said to me, "Why is allow people to do you all these things, boy?" Right? So I said,
"Bring up the wifey."
Yeah, I said, "Sweetie," I say, "You're forgetting something. This song is not mine. Before it was property of somebody or potential property, this song is not mine. This is my song to do what I want with it. And I'm going to release this song and watch and see what's going to happen." Now, at the time, me saying watch and see what's going to happen, we already played 3 games and only have 1 point, So I'm mad for saying that. When I put the song out on radio, men telling me after song good, but we ain't going nowhere. You waste the song, boy. Right? The only person who played the song without even second guessing would have been Hoppy. Right? At a game, he took the CD, right? Him and DJ Dane were playing and play it and say, "Hey, we supporting the Warriors, boy. This thing going on mash up the place." Right? So I had to say big up to Hoppy for having the belief. And surely enough, we start drawing games, winning games to the point that we reach where we have to play Mexico. And if we win that game, we go into the we're in the 4th place, right, in the playoff. Sang the song in front of a full capacity stadium. And when the game was finished and we beat Mexico, and the guys ran towards our part of the stands and the song started to play, I was the only person that wasn't jumping, I wasn't dancing, I wasn't singing, and I kind of felt that everybody is looking at me, and I was just spaced out. And leaving the stadium, I was cursing in my wife's vehicle.
Why?
Because I felt that people didn't believe until something happened. Right?
Which happens a lot. And the reason why I bring it up this story, because it happens a lot with us and in general sports, entertainment and these sort of things. And this is a good example of that.
I was leaving the stadium very angry, even though we just made it.
And your song
play up. And the song
mash up
is the top song in the country. You understand? And I wasn't satisfied because I felt that, wow, look what it takes for people to, be on board. Like, we really are always at a win. Where's the support from jump? It is not there. Right? I say everybody want to sing this song now. But where would they? They were not part of the 500 when we were playing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When Angus, Eve and Hector Sam rescued us. You see, I ain't only an artist.
I know.
I am an advocate for the game.
Right.
Right? So I can talk things that people don't want to talk about. Right? So it was all that, and I guess that is why I was supposed to write the song and do the song, because of how I feel about the game and how I feel about my country. And from Strike Squad days, I am friends with many of those guys up to this day. Right? Every 19th of November, I always reach out to Clayton Morris. I say, Skipper, you say, why is always doing this, fight? Yeah, this is already a good day for me, But it's a good day when you could call and say, Skipper, I remember. And I also remember November 16th. That should be known as Warriors Day in Trinidad and Tobago. And we do acknowledge that day at all, because that's the day we qualify for the World Cup.
Right.
I believe that November should be football month in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right after October, which I believe is Calypso month.
Right.
Yeah, we could do that.
Right. Where we commemorate all the greats from the past. You understand? That whole month. So you heard it first. So you know people like to take people think, but they can hold that.
Hold that. He wave his fee again.
No, I wave my fee because I can tell you something else too. You and I are the people. We came up with Red Force. Trinidad and Tobago cricket team. We could talk that. We could talk real thing, you know.
Well, let me play some music because we could talk real thing. Ladies and gentlemen, MX Prime is here. The album is called
That's
Exit.
why I don't go away.
Nah, it's all good. You know. But hear what? You know what tune I want to play off the album as we went down in that. Let me play. Should be scroll long day. Let me play. Oh, you tell me. Oh, no enemies this year.
No enemies this year.
Let me run that
That's a
tune.
good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good motto.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution. No enemies this year. Exit.
Sing that, man.
In the morning, I pray to be here this evening. I rise up with a goal. Now gonna make it easy to take my soul. No every man now gonna know them road. No enemies this year. But when the Jesus,
The album is called Exit and it is out now on all streaming platforms.
eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. Eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. Eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. Shock them, shock them. Eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. Eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. I say, eyes on you, nobody eyes on them. Shock them, shock them. And when you do that thing you do. Move that thing you do. One more time again. Now when you do that thing you do. Ha! Move that. I said to move that. Girl, you make me eye them freeze. I'm in love with the jeans them space. Turn it up 100 degrees. Get the body house, get the body car keys. Tight, girl, you know hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is called Eyes on You. MX Prime, our guest here today, and we just rinsing tune. Cause we have bag of tune to rinse.
True that.
You know what I mean? So we're moving past that now. We're here with the fighter, right? So boom shot now after that. You know what I mean? I now started working at a radio station, right? And do this show previously when it was actually an all hip hop show.
Mad.
Right? And then certain, I in the industry, and we've been partners for a long time.
Treading this road for the longest while.
We micing little song system and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
We do all kind of thing. We sing tune together. We perform on stage together. But at the point in time, you started experimenting with your song in a big way now.
Yeah.
Right? Before all the Sunset Festival and all them thing where became the EDM craze and wave, my brother here was already going down that road.
You better do like Kenny G and hush him out, eh?
I'm telling you, I am observer, I is the watcher. You understand? I just see what has been going on and I hear what has been saying. I just hush my mouth and wait my turn to talk, you know.
Yeah.
You dig?
Well, now you can talk all the time because you have a platform to talk.
Correct is right. Right? And at the point in time, so that's when you also, I believe you also started to get into production at that same point, right?
Yeah. Well, you and I, we kind of started Ultimate Rejects around that time.
Right. So going from that into that, and as I say, you were experimenting with this song, and people in the industry was like, "What Max doing?" Though?
Well, I'll tell you this, right? A lot of my so-called friends, right, used to be talking things about me and not saying it to me, right? And they know why they couldn't say it to me. So they would try to say to people who they think brave enough to tell me, don't do what I'm doing because I'm destroying my career, right? And say that, you're gonna be out of the mix and there's no way we see you. And I have news flash for people. People always have an idea where they want to see you, but they never ask you where you want to see you. Right? So I felt that because of the talent that God blessed me to do all types of music and to also create music, there are sessions that I would have said, hey, make the bass that way, make this that way, and never take any production credit.
Right.
And that's many songs.
Right.
Because I felt that let the producer get his due, because we all know how producers feel in this song. They don't really feel like they get any sort of praise. Right? until, being a producer ended up something fashionable again in Trinidad and Tobago. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on a musical journey that may cost me a lot. It may cost me finances, it may cost me ranking, it will cost me a lot of things. But what is not going to cost me is the ability to get better at what I am doing. Right? It's not going to cost me that. Because I'm going to go on a journey where I was actually performing in Point Fortin by Shakila, who did Backyard, right? And she is a great vocalist, also a poet. So I was around people, and Mr. Shaq could tell you that, right? Collis Duranti could tell you that. I've been in many circles musically, which helped me find who I want to be as an artist and also as a producer, so it cost you, yes. You would not have been on the Toronto and the New York and the this and the that and your name calling us who's the top man in Trinidad and Tobago. And it cost you that. But at the same point in time, I felt that I needed to fix me musically. Right? I needed to get my musical fix so that I could now be a facilitator. Because many times, we concentrate on what we want to get. When you go to an interview for a job, right, is with pain. Right? But the boss go say, we're contributing. We're going to come here and do. We're going to come here and wait till 3 o'clock every afternoon and then hope every 25 days you collect a salary. No, we monitoring you. What are you contributing to my brand, to my business? I'm not going to pay you $15,000 just to go for 2 hours and lunch every day. Because that's what we do in this town. Lunch is 12 o'clock. And we coming back in 1:30 and then want to eat lunch on work. I know it. That's our culture. So that's why we don't be as productive as we should be as a people. So for me, I wanted to make the best of my time because I don't know what time, when my time going to expire. Right. So I might as well skill up, right? So I could contribute towards my brand and towards any artist who comes to me and say, listen, I want to work with you, right? Could you do this? Could you do that? Could you help me? Right? I'm able to add, not to subtract. Right. So and at that time, while you trying to do them thing, people looking at you like crazy. Yeah, and before, it also comes from a genuine concern that they have to, So it's not like they all, So
you can't get too vexed.
You can't get too vexed because human nature, they're concerned because they really don't want to see a flop or fail, right? And they think that, okay, they need to hold an intervention. But but so I understand that side of it. We can't talk about left hand and talk about right, you understand?
Facts.
But at the end of the day, all that was planned. It wasn't that I wake up one morning and say, I'm going to miss 10 carnival, because that's what I did. 10 carnival season, I stay out.
Wow.
And I became a radio personality and all these different things in the whole mix of that. Yes, showing up at events and interviewing artists, and I'm in shock that how I could take a step down, right? From being on top of stage where everybody, but that's not why I was doing this for in the first place. Hundreds of thousands of people who turn me on. Right? The things that artists, many artists crave, I don't crave that. I come to an event, you don't even know I'm at the event. Only until I'm on top of the stage. And then when you look for me, I done in a car going on the road.
Collect your bag and go.
Yeah, because I ain't about what people are about. Right? For me, I know what music did for me. Right? And the privilege and the honor to sing it, to be a part of it, to be a facilitator, to be a creator of it, right, is a big privilege to me. So when I do what I do, I ain't there for no picture, I know this, I know that. That's me. A next man will gravitate towards that. I ain't knocking him for that. That's his thing. But don't class all of us the same way. Right. Don't see all of us the same way. We ain't doing it for that. Does anybody ask you why you do what you do? No. They just say, well, why you don't be doing something else?
Yeah, well, I just every day, and people feel that they know best and better than you, and they may live in your life.
But look what you're doing here, right? When you ask them what they're doing, they're still thinking about what they're going to do. I actually doing something.
No doubt. So that's a part of our culture. A lot about complaining about things and not doing anything, not getting up and acting to do it. But that's what we're doing here on the grind. The best in TNT music with MX Prime. You understand? O.U.R radio.fm. Right? So let me play one more tune, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get to the stage that you're at now, which was going through that process and then linking with Father Yo, you know, two like-minded individuals from the production side that were doing things that were different at the point in time.
Yeah.
And then, boom, shut our road march.
Yeah.
And then we are back here with this album.
Don't
you know what I mean? Yes, sir. So, tell me a tune.
She.
She.
Now done line it up already?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. MX Prime. Exit is the album and it's out now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the song is called She and it's off the album Exit and it's spelled
XIT, which is my son's initials.
Serious?
Xavi Ignacio Thomas.
Serious.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah,
So then
man.
we get the meaning.
That is his album.
As we get the meaning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
No
Exit.
doubt.
He is my exit. You know, when things get rough and things, you look at to your youths and them, and you know, it don't seem so bad. It don't seem so hard when it is you look at your kids, right? And they give you that inspiration and say, love your daddy.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I remember a time I working out in the yard and he was about 3 going on 4. Came home, jumped out the vehicle, saw me doing push-ups and got down on the ground and was doing push-ups at me. He said, one more, daddy. Right, because he could see I was tired, I was struggling. And then I got up, he said, good job. He hit my 5 and then walk inside. I stand with my hand on my hip looking at him, so I look up, I said, thank you, God.
No doubt.
You don't know.
I wanted to ask you this personal question too, if you mind.
No problem.
Your wife,
Yeah.
how long have you been together?
Well, we raised each other, I could say that. Because I met her when I was 20 going on 21 and she was 18 going on 19. So we in our 40s now.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I just wanted to just comment for a second on her support for you being there and being an artist in this industry and how important it was for you going through those ups and downs and that 10-year break, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you know, when somebody meets you doing something and they realize, hey, this is the type of personality that you have, you know, and the type of energy you have towards your profession. She did what she had to do in order to make sure that I wear the right clothes, you know, I present myself a particular way. And then she'd be the toughest critic. She would say things that, you know, I do want to hear, but I need to hear because if it comes from her, right, coming from a genuine place, she ain't trying to fight me, you know. As well as being a person you could talk anything with. You know, it's always good to have people that you could bounce thing off of, and she would say, if you want my opinion, I know you don't really like me to mess with your music, you know, or how you run your business, but so and so and so and so. So it's always good to have somebody with that third eye, you know, and that third ear to hear things, to see things, and make you see it from a different perspective. Also to keep you focused. You know, when you come home now, you have that individual that is there that's gonna show you that love and that support. So I wanna thank her for that, you know, all the time. You know,
No doubt. Because I mean, every time we talk, you know, you always, you know, you talk about already family life and dealing, you know.
Yeah. Family is a big part, you know. You know, mom and dad. You know, my dad always, he's a big fan of what I do. My mom, you know, she as well, but she always praying for me because being on the outskirts, you know, she being a God-fearing person. You know, she'll always put in that prayers, and my pops will always try to give me words of advice. You know, my wife will always try to ensure that I'm okay. Like, you know, I tell people she take care of me, you know, in a particular way that, you know, close to mom. You know, I said, you just remind me of my mother, girl. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I say that's a great thing because, you know, I see how she deals with our son.
Right.
You know, and just today I was working on a project, an awards project. He has to do an awards project, and he has to choose somebody in his family. He said, Daddy, I don't want you to be disappointed, but this is mommy's award. I say, brother, you making the best choice. I don't want to ever make you go against your queen. Your queen is everything. Your mother is everything. That is the best friend you're going to have. That's the best friend you're going to have. She going to defend you even when you do rubbish. Right? So family is a big part of what we do. Even as well as you are, who's a family man as well. His parents come like my parents too.
Yeah, for real.
They see my growth and development. His pops always will stand up and talk to me for an hour if you give him.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have that home vibes. No matter what going on, you could be a billionaire. You could be the most popular man when you reach home and you are your family. You just regular Richard and regular Ed Shill. He's regular Johan. We can't bring no ego through the door.
Facts.
There ain't no artist here. Right? So, and that is what kept me grounded in this business. So
back to the music now, right? So I just say that that support system I believe is important, especially when artists or creatives are trying new things and doing new things, and the world or the fan base might not understand, until it busts it big in the face. So now you link up with Father Johan, we go into the story, right?
Yeah.
And then boom shot, and you also start to work on different types of music, blending the EDM with soca with the EDM and all kind of different vibes.
We call those days the battlefield days because we would do tracks starting like, okay, we'll start a track 6 o'clock in the evening and then leave 6 o'clock in the next morning, only for the song they play twice on the radio, right? And then go back in the studio and make something else again, and know fully well we might experience that same thing and do it anyway, because that's the kind of belly that we have up to this day. It's either you're going to hate what we do, you're going to appreciate all of what we do, but we're not going to stop doing what we do because we will learning. And as we say now, everything is a rehearsal for the next big one. So we put out a track, and if it doesn't do well, we kind of do a little post-mortem and say, okay, it could have been better based on this, that. This market only appreciates this type of sound, this type of vibration. Okay, let's try to keep it not too wild. We could always do a remix after. So these are the type of things that we do. We don't just put our records willy-nilly.
And that's how the name Ultimate Rejects came about. By that experimentation and rejection.
Every time they say no. Every time they say no, and every time they say nah. Tell Maxi going mad. Right? They won't tell me that. They will tell him that. To tell me that.
I have heard those exact words, my brother.
Tell Maxi going mad. I end up a topic by plenty rum shop and bar and corner and
radio station.
Yeah. Right? And I still here. Because no worse for wear anyway. Because I knew what I was doing. Right? And people need to understand that when you're creating, you go as far as the creation takes you. There's no limit to creativity. If you're painting a picture, right, you don't say, okay,
I can't use red, too much red.
If this is what it requires, that's what you give. Whether or not the audience appreciates it, that's a different story. But that's for me to decide, where I want my art to go. Because 100 years from now, it might be in some museum, right? At the time, it would have been the maddest thing. I've heard Lionel Richie say the songs that he was producing back in the day, 40 years ago, people told him those songs will not last. You see, but tonight I'm collecting a Lifetime Achievement Award for those same songs. Right. So, for all the people who were concerned and all who still think are going mad and whatever, check me here. 90% that it's still black.
Well, boy, I didn't want to take off my hat.
Right? 90% of it still black. Right? I only know start to get a little thing, a little snow here and there.
Yeah, you just like them teacher and them.
Well, probably because I was a teacher.
Right. So Boom Shot now, you all went through that. I mean, of course, Father Johan and Madmen Productions was doing a lot of great works, and I had a lot of great works at the time. But what I admire about Johan and that team is that even though, yes, they were hard hits, they still wasn't afraid to experiment. It was like, all right, that is formula or that working, but we ain't gonna do that all the time. You know what I mean? Father, you want to say something, or you're good in the corner there? All right.
Yeah, all right. We made a conscious effort to just be different all the time in our execution.
Right, but then now we see it work.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Ultimate Rejects.
Yeah.
Road March.
Yeah.
Not don't know. What shit I talking? You have no don't know. We know.
There was an accidental road march though.
Why you say that?
I'll tell you why. Right? I don't use words that I can't back up, you know. We felt that the 2 months of Carnival in 2017 would have been bombarded with EDM-esque soca tracks by foreign entities, because we saw Major Lazer do it, we saw Bad Royal do it. So we felt that if these are the acts that we look in the mirror, right, in terms of what our sound is, the closest thing people will say, well, all right, there's Major Lazer, and if you want to say in Trinidad and Tobago, there's Rejects, because these guys and them had that kind of vibe. You know, yes, had the System 32 and all these different guys who producing as well. But we, at the time, they would say Ultimate Rejects is that type of brand based on performing at all these Sunset festivals and all these different things. And I said, guys, we're going to allow these guys that come Trinidad and work with our artists and put out thing, and we here doing the same thing and ain't going to just put a couple tracks. So guys sat down, and that wasn't really the vision of the group. The group was, we just wanted to do EDM tracks with a Caribbean sound as Ultimate Rejects and keep the brand in that particular direction. I'm saying this for a particular reason, because many times on the gram, when we put out different sort of tracks, we don't really get that positive reaction from our followers, because they're a little bit confused, right? The brand is a music brand, an electronic brand, right? But most of our big songs or popular songs would be in the soca vein.
But that was interesting,
right?
because so once you were doing that, right?
Yeah.
And you were doing that sort of experimentation and putting out those music. But when the whole rest of them catch on to the extreme is I didn't name the song again? Because
Full Extreme.
Full Extreme, sorry.
Right.
Because me and you have the song going.
Yes.
Right? Full Extreme, right? Was almost a sort of transition back to a more vintage song.
Yeah. But
so why everybody run up on that then now? You're kind of,
let me finish this story, because I kind of threw it off course with the whole Instagram followers thing. All right. So the first song we did was a song called Stage God.
Yes.
Stage God.
Yes.
Burned down the place.
That's how to pick up good momentum in the early.
Right, in the earlies. And
of the season, quote unquote.
Yeah. And it was doing quite well, you know. If we didn't release Full Extreme, Stage God would have been a runaway hit based on the momentum that it was, you know, was gaining and getting. Then I came to O.U.R in his studio, and I said, you wanna have this vibe that I was working on for a while, you know, a beat. Now, as I say, I am a music man first. Even though I wasn't producing any soca tracks, I hear this beat, I went with it. I was saying, you really want to do this record, you know, because you do things like this before. And I don't want to conform. I don't want nobody think that, you had to go back and sing them thing in order for we to like him. I don't really care if you don't like me. The people who like me is Prunella and Bonnie Thomas. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I just get that way. The people who I know love me, Prunella and Bonnie Thomas, Jade Moses Thomas, Shavi Thomas, and then after that, I said my brother love me too. You understand? And then it is gonna get a little bit hard after that to decide who really love you. So I'm not really doing this thing for love or like, but the music was so strong. It's like the jingle that Pele have in him as a footballer. The music and the spirit of the music was so strong, was enough to erode whatever feeling I had of not wanting to do it.
Yep.
So every time I pull up this session and I hear the bass line, I say, let me add something. And when I played it inside the house, my wife said, who did this piece of music? I say, like it. Yes, she. It's sounding good. She didn't even hear the song. Right? Because I kept the song to myself.
Yeah.
And then when I presented the beat to Johan, he played and he heard the drum roll. He run outside and said, people dead. Right? I said, but hold on, I didn't sing the song for you yet. And when I started singing the song, I started to talk the song out. He run back outside again. So he knew as a producer, because at the time he mixing and mastering all type of songs.
And mixing and mastering a lot of the whatever in soca. So he hearing what he heard to the.
He's a tastemaker as well. So he understood what it could have done, because he was hearing the final product, because he has to mix it and master it.
Right.
And surely enough, it did what it did. So we didn't have no plans to contest no carnival that wasn't.
No, but typically, well, for the most part, a lot, and more so, I would say back in history, until certain people really started plan for the thing, it really was a song that just resonated with the people. You couldn't dictate it too much, although people tried to and have in recent years.
But I was
because I remember, I just want to say this. All not going in no competition, but the people twist all their arm and say, hey, what, you had to put it in road march. Because it's just that love.
We got we got calls from a lot of concerned people too within the industry that say, listen, this would be a wrong thing that you all doing if it is you all decide, not to put it in the road march.
At least the road march.
Right, at least, so. And then we relented and we said, okay, we'll do it. And surely enough, it did what it did and created history. It brought a lot of joy to people's hearts, and they were contented. But, we knew that, all right, that would have been a once in a lifetime thing based on the fact that, that overwhelming joy and good feeling that the song brought, it's not difficult to replicate that. But what happens today happens today. The same thing will happen tomorrow, right? And if a song resonates with people this particular way, they might expect something at that level or even higher. But if you always moving, you're not gonna go back to that exactly like
which
that.
Which is why I said at the beginning of this interview, you're a man that don't really too much dwell on the part. You more push it forward.
Because that was the feeling at that time. It's about 6 months I work on the music for full extreme, right? Because within that time, going to work, doing all kind of different things, taking care of home.
Yeah, because you was on the radio at that point.
And let's say 3 years prior being on the radio, people are asking me, but you on the radio now, why you don't push to be in parties and this and that and the other? So, that ain't really my thing. Me really fighting to be in effect. Right? Been there, done that. I see the whole world through, performing the art, a Soca Calypso, right? And my vibration, and I thank God for that. But I'm not trying to be the top man in town. I know my thing. I here to do me. So when the song came out, a lot of people say, how come you tell me a big tune coming? I say, I don't even know what gonna be a big tune in this song. Right? I just put music, and wherever it go, because we have been so disappointed many times that even if we know we have goal,
you don't try to get too high or too low.
No, we learn to manage our expectations, right? So no matter how much I feel confident that this song is going to be a hit record, you just don't know. There might be some mitigating factors. And
much artists come and tell me, boy, I have a hit, it's a hit. And it's lalling.
We stopped saying that a long time ago based on the fact that we have experience.
Yes.
Right? And that happened, and we thank God for the opportunity. The song is still doing what it's doing. So
4 million views currently.
Well, you know more than me because I don't even check them things.
No, but I had an interview, I had to do my research.
I watch them. We don't even. I personally don't even check them things, because I should, but I don't.
Well, no, I mean it is it's a good gauge of certain things in this time. Not the be all and end all. Obviously not. And we didn't, as you rightfully say, we didn't come up, doing music for them thing, you know what I mean? Because certain tunes of yours that probably a lot of people don't know are probably some of this party on your album. This party up in here. Don't drink no rum, don't need no. It's like one of my favorite joints.
Look at
from you, right? But anyway, so going from that now, and now we are here.
Yes.
We finally here. I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long interview. People, it had curfew at 10 o'clock, and people had to go home, but that is all right. We breeze in. But we're getting ready to wrap it up now. It has brought us to this moment and this album, which is your first album in how long?
In about 15, 16 years.
Last one would have been Love Generation?
Last one, that would have been 506.
No doubt. Yeah, and that's a great, amazing album.
Thank you.
As I said.
It was a double album, as a matter of fact.
I remember. Yeah.
A lot of hard work.
Right, and now it's brought you to this album, Exit, as you're saying, is initials for your son. Yeah, so why now? And why that it does have a sound? Well, the overall sound of the album.
I'll be honest with you. I wanted to do this album since last year during the pandemic. Because I felt that I had so many ideas in my laptop, on my hard drive. You have all these ideas and you're not going to bring it out. And you're going to watch the world just evolve and go forward, and you have all these ideas. And what's the point of having all these ideas and all these decent beats and not even trying to work on them and put them out because of where you are. We in Trinidad and Tobago. They ain't gonna wanna hear that. But you was never the guy that care what they want to hear or what they don't want to hear from you. You spoke freely anyway. Right? So I said, my inspiration now comes from the fact that I have people around me that understand my vibration, appreciate what I bring to the table. And you have a youngster looking at you at home. He see you as a superhero right now until he gets older and you realize you have a bunch of flaws and you ain't all that. You understand that I thought you were. That is just.
Oh, you could say that you will improve on your design,
right? That is just the reality. You may not say it to my face, but you say, man, I used to respect that man. There's everything that he could achieve, he didn't achieve it because he didn't believe, or he was too vexed, or he was too this or too that. So you are your children around you. That is my cheerleading squad. My son is my part of he's the flag waver for cheerleading. So I say, you know what? Everything I do, my fitness, with this, my that surround being my youth, help change my life. Put my back on course, give me some purpose. This is his album. And every beat I built, he was in the room listening, coming, jumping up. When I take off the music, he say, Daddy, why you take it off? It's sounding good. Right? So that was something that I had to do, not only for me, but for him. So for years to come, he could say, my dad did this, and I was a big part of that. So he could take that into his life and his family. Right? That is what the best I could do for him at this point in time. I do other things there, but he could see that. That's a part of history. Nobody could erase that. And he was the driving force for that. So that is the why. And why now? No time like the present for artists to take control of their craft, their careers, right? Yes, we need the radio, and we need the DJs, and we need all these people, and them. Everybody need to play their role and play their part in our success. But it starts and ends with us. I should say it starts and continues with us because there's no end. Right. We are the ones that started singing. And then when we started singing, people decide, all right. Or for singing, it could have this job, it could have that job, it could have that job, it had all the offshoots, or the man who playing the drum, right? Or beating a stick together. When he start that, singing start, and all kind of different things start. So the artist, the creator, must always find and try to always be at the spearhead of what his or her career should be. So nobody can come and tell you, well, I ain't getting no airplay on the radio, so my career done. You have your own platform. You have things you could stream live, no doubt, right? No doubt. You could put your music up to be assessed by the world's best. And that
I always say that too, and point out about no streaming platform sometimes gives you a little bit more a little reaffirmation, because sometimes you might be getting quote unquote radio play. But you see somebody listening to your thing in Australia or Japan, YouTube, iTunes Japan, and thing. And
the royalties reflect that. Yes, because you put your thing out there, where when you listen to somebody's album, you listen to yours. Yes, you're very. We will compare. We say, okay, this people think sound a little bit more fresh than mine. And, the mix sound better, and then you check to see who's the engineer, and you start doing your own research. So the next project that you put out going to be an improvement based on the assessment.
So this album now. So you being a producer, and you say you send the beats, but aside from that, who in terms of producing the beats on this album, was it majority yourself?
I did 10, you did 2.
All right. And who? You mix and master the whole album?
I don't really want to see that, because this tongue
you now say you mix and master the whole album.
This tongue don't like to know you're doing too much thing, brother. So I don't want to see that.
Well, you didn't. You didn't. You handed.
Well,
and if it come from he, who mixes and masters, we will take Father yours.
Yeah, because you can't really be more than what people want you to be in this tongue. So I am not a mixing in and mastering engineer.
But the mix, I was bumping it. It does sound good, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Very, very well done. Very well done, because I didn't know that. I mean, you had a good teacher.
Well, that's a good mentor.
Because
he's easy man that will say, You did well, you know, but you just focus on this, that, but we have conversations. So it doesn't come down like it's a condescending criticism or anything like that. We have conversation. You say, you know where you need to try? I'm going to send this plugin for you. Just go on YouTube. This is the link. Look at it. See what it could do, right? And add your vibration to it.
Right.
Just last night we co-mixed and mastered a record of ours, a brand new record, you know. Up to today, this morning, we were, you know, listening to it. Right. So he would send stuff for me and say, I need your vibes on it. And then he'll send it back to me, and then I will put the layers and the, you know, the glitter dust and all the different things.
So produced, majority, Father, you throwing at two bangers, mixed mastered by the one and only MX Prime. The album is called XIT. My brethren, what's the feedback been like so far? What do you have you any expectations of this album?
Hey, I'm laughing like a lark here, brother. Good vibrations, you know, for the people who actually stream the album, right? Those people give us positive feedback. A couple of artists, you know, reach out to me and say, Max, we're proud of you, you know, for your transition, right? That you never really stayed one place too long, right? And you go to the point now where you're producing, you're mixing, you have voiceover talent, you're respected in the songman fraternity, you know, you pick up so many spaces on the stat sheet that we just proud that you just keep doing what you're doing and staying relevant. And beyond that, they're staying consistent. You know? That is what it is for me.
But with the album, what I was going to say, boy. Yeah, did you have a specific sound or thing that you were looking for for the album, or was it just naturally where you were going creatively?
Naturally, where I was going creatively, you know, there will be people who say, "How come you really do no soca on it?" You know, I had to say it in the accent. Yeah, come on, you ain't give me no soca on it, right? When you're creating, for me, like I said in the interview before, it's not about trying to target a particular genre or an audience. Is what I was feeling at the time. And it so happened that most of the ideas I had was in this particular vein, in this kind of Caribbean type of vein. And, you know, you can really, you know, say what it is. You know, so it's a hybrid. You know, it have everybody in it. Go in and listen to the tracks. It have a little bit of something for everybody to say.
No doubt.
Hey, I could dance to this. I could bump to this. The girls on them could whine to it. You know, you can listen to lyrical content. Could hear the singing, this, that. So, and the streets get something too. You know, there's a track called Streets on it. Another one called Find Some Way. Another one called No Enemies this year. So it have tracks on it that for the men and then for the youths and them who like to listen to that type of sound. It have that there for them. So it had nothing to do with you deliberately not going and do this or that or the other. There's just where I am. And then when I look at my kid in the house and I watch what he listens to, I pay attention to what is moving him. Again, remember the theme is this is his bless. He bless me.
Right.
I bless him. He would say the other way around that he bless me, so I bless you. No, he bless me. So this was about him. This wasn't about me per se. You know, I was just a vessel that all these things came through, and I didn't want to disappoint him. And he don't even much up to it. He said, "Daddy, I heard that you take my name and you put it on this album, yeah, right?
Yeah,
you know, yeah, nice man. Yeah. He good with that, you know, because he don't really understand the significance now. So this whole vibration, I want to thank you, Ann, for you know, arming me with the intelligence, right, and the equipment. Because if I fall short in any area in terms of I want this equipment, I want this VST, I want this, that, I know who to turn to, right? And also he knows that I will say, hey, it have a brand new plugin and come out, I'm going to send it for you. You know, we had a rapport because we want to make each other better. Right. We want to push each other to the point that, so Jordan and Pippen push one another, right? That's the same way we trying to push each other to just get better and better. Hopefully the banners will come and the championships will come. But it's not about that for the moment. It's just about constant improvement.
No doubt, ladies and gentlemen, MX Prime, our guest here today on the grind. The album is called XIT. Before we go, two things. So as you talk that talk, who is your side for this year? Lakers, Brooklyn. What talk to me?
I know you Lakers still.
Yes, sir.
Know.
Before LeBron reached there, no bandwagon Lakers at all.
Well, for me, I feel a lot of people going to be mad at me, but I going with the Bucks again. You know?
Giannis going to run it back. No, I telling people that too. He might run it back.
I'm looking at the inclusion. I'm looking at they bringing the Rodney Hood and all these different guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean to say they lose a defensive presence with the dog gone to Miami. What's his name again? The guy who had all the sneakers. He have every sneakers in the book.
Not Holiday?
No, Holiday. Another PJ Tucker.
All right, yeah.
They have defensive toughness, but I think they make up for that with the pieces that they brought together because they have a well balanced team.
Yeah, no doubt. No. I feel that this might run it back. We go see how it goes. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. You understand? These COVID sometimes, these are the things that we look forward to.
True.
Or I do. You know what I mean? So, the album XIT, it's out now on all streaming platforms. I want y'all to go out there. How come you didn't decide to put out a single per se, or did you put out a single? You just drop album?
Again, I could make you laugh or make you cry. You put single, it's easy for them to tell you. What song you put out, boy? I mean, see it. But when you put out an album, right, it kind of more difficult for you to say you ain't hear about an album. Or you ain't, and it have songs now that, you can pick what you like. I didn't put out a single to say, well, this is the go-ahead single. Because then it will follow the same format, a single format. I put out an album, stream it.
You go and find.
You like what you like. You endorse what you endorse. You comment on what you want to comment on. We have a DJ mix that is on SoundCloud right now.
Okay, dope.
And YouTube as well. So if you don't want to listen to tracks on them like in single format, you can listen to a mix of it. So I think that's the best direction for me right now. So for the 5 or 6 beats that I didn't pursue to go on the album, that will have its use too as our next collection to come.
No doubt.
Because
ladies and gentlemen, keep creating. And as I said, 4 decades of music, my brother. Thank you. And on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, thank you for all the great memories and energy. When I say you had music within 4 decades,
wow,
the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and we are now 2021. So longevity. Keep creating. Keep trying to better yourself. The album is called XIT. You tell me what tune we leaving with.
Nah, this one.
This one
makes the DJ say.
Let the DJ dictate the DJ trap. Right? This one is called Find Some Way. Trap, bring it from the top there.
Even on the longest journey, souls on the feet start to burn me. Whoa.
Now this is a true story, when people ask you, how your mother going? How your father going? How the wife going? How the youth going?
When me say mama good, hear that. When me say papa good, know that. When me say the wife good, see that. When me say the youth good, whoa. But streets saying Hollywood, believe that. The streets saying Hollywood, see that. Streets saying Hollywood, for real that. Streets saying Hollywood. Every morning, me rise to the grind. Me choose over time, over the crime. Work, drive your baby bills on time. Keep myself, me family off the breadline. Same time, I watch out for dirty bad mind. If up to them, you never make a dime. Secure yourself, your life on the line. Now go make it easy if you take what's mine. Roll over, big man, no push over.
Tell them.
I realize, recognize me myself. Man a soldier in the regiment. Me no roll over. Father God, them a go take over. Long time we are battling the trench, full of experience, so me ready for the serpent. When me say mama good, hear that. When me say papa good, know that. When me say the wife good, see that. When me say the youth good, oh. But street saying Hollywood, believe that. Street saying Hollywood, feel that. Street saying Hollywood, feel that. street side of the wood. Whoa, everybody hungry, them want eat up. Bread and butter, now come cheap up. Touch road man a different beast up. Predator, prey on the wake up. Everywhere you turn is a liar and thief up. Them master the art of the seat up. Me survivor, me no retreat. Winner me no accept defeat. Me no roll over. Big man no push over. Realize, recognize me myself up. Man a soldier in the regiment up. Me no roll over. Me a play till the game over.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
Time we a battle in the trench full of
MX Prime. The album is called XIT. It is available now worldwide on all streaming platforms. We would like to thank him for passing through and spending such good time with us, brethren. We respect our mothers, you know what I mean? At all. Yes, sir. And once again, go out and stream that. I done listen about 4 or 5 times already. You understand? You see me singing lyric and thing, right? All right. It's been the grind. And we want to thank our sponsors, KFC, for powering this entire show and, of course, supporting the art, the culture, TNT, content, and music. This has been the grind. Yeah? Catch us next week. Same place, same time, 4 to 7 p.m. O.U.R radio.fm.
The grind.
Hi! If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to get notified anytime we go live or post new videos. O.U.R radio.fm, your urban alternative.